Let me tell you something shocking. You are not broken. Those emotions you feel, the pain you carry, the chaos of life, it's not a distraction, it's your fuel. You were built for this. And if you don't believe me yet, stick around, because by the end of this, you'll see your struggles in a way you never have before. Purpose and passion aren't just nice to haves, they're your lifeline. But here's the problem, we're drowning in busyness. Running in circles, chasing distractions, while our real power, our passion gets buried under the noise. And that's why so many people feel stuck, empty. Like they're missing something. But what if I told you that the very things you think are holding you back, your pain, your past, your struggles, are actually the launch pad for your purpose? Think about this, Nelson Mandela wasn't weakened by prison, it fueled him. Oprah's pain didn't break her, it built her. Your darkest moments, they're not your enemy. They're your training ground. That childhood hurt, that failure, that rejection. That's the bow pulling you back so you can shoot forward with unstoppable force. Right now, you might be thinking, but I don't feel passionate. I don't even know my purpose. And guess what? That's normal. Passion isn't something you wait for, it's something you ignite. How? By doing. By stepping into the unknown. By saying yes when fear says no. You want your fire back. Get uncomfortable. Try something new. Meet new people. Take that one small step. Because passion isn't found, it's created. Here's the brutal reality, we're the busiest generation in history, but also the least effective. Why? Because we're spending 80% of our time on things that drain us instead of the 20% that fuels us. And the cost? Your time, the one thing you can't get back. So ask yourself, are you investing your days or just spending them? Are you living or just existing? What if you flipped the script? What if you gave 80% of your energy to what lights you up and only 20% to the have-tos? Imagine the clarity, the energy. The results. You were designed for more than busyness. You were made to create, to lead, to impact. And it starts today by guarding your time like the treasure it is. So here's your mission. Stop waiting for someday. Pick one thing that excites you and do it this week. Not next month. Not when things calm down. Now. And when that voice says you're not ready, do it anyway. Because that is how passion is born. That is how purpose unfolds. And that is how you turn your pain into power. Here's your fully rewritten script in pure paragraph form, no headings, just smooth, engaging storytelling to seam this line to hook viewers and keep them watching until a fight. I've kept your core message but made it more conversational, emotional, and YouTube optimized for maximum retention. Let me tell you something you might not want to hear but desperately need to know. You are not a mistake. Those emotions you feel, that pain you carry, that voice inside whispering there's got to be more than this. It's not random. It's not pointless, it's your fuel. See, purpose and passion aren't just fancy words, they're your lifeline in a world that's constantly trying to drain you dry. But here's the brutal truth. We've become the busiest generation in history, and the most exhausted. Running in circles, drowning in to-do lists, while our real power, that fire inside, gets buried under the weight of just getting by. And maybe right now you're thinking, but I don't even know what my passion is anymore. I get it. Life has a way of beating that out of us, but here's the secret. Passion isn't something you find, it's something you ignite. Every great person you admire, Oprah, Mandela, the hero who inspires you, they weren't born with some magic confidence. They had pain. They had setbacks. They had moments where they wanted to quit. But they used that struggle as leverage. Think about it. An arrow can't shoot forward unless it's first pulled back. Your hardest moments, they're not your enemy. They're your launch pad. But here's where most people get stuck. We've been tricked into believing that busy equals productive. That exhaustion equals effort. Newsflash, it doesn't. Studies show we spend 80% of our time on things that drain us and only 20% on what actually matters. Let that sink in. We're giving our best energy to things that won't even remember us in a year, while the dreams that light our souls on fire get scraps. Your time is the one thing you can't get back. Not money, not stuff, time. And every minute you spend on autopilot is a minute stolen from your destiny. So here's my challenge to you. This week, do one thing that scares you. Not next month. Not when things calm down. Now, send that email, start that side hustle. Have that hard conversation. Because passion isn't a feeling, it's a decision. And the moment you start moving, the universe starts conspiring to help you. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to take one step, and then another, and another. Until one day you look back and realize those struggles, those doubts, they weren't roadblocks. They were the path. So tell me, what's that one thing you've been putting off because you're not ready? Whatever it is, do it anyway. The world needs what only you can bring. And it all starts today. You are not here by accident. There's a reason you're watching this right now. Because deep down, You know you were meant for more than just surviving. More than just paying bills and counting down the weekends. You were built to thrive, to create, to creep, to leave your mark on this world. But somewhere along the way, life got loud. Dudes crept in. Responsibilities piled up. And that fire inside you? It didn't disappear, it just got buried under layers of shoulds and have tossed. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you felt truly alive? Not just going through the motions, but fully engaged, electrified by what you were doing? For too many of us, it's been too long. We've confused being busy with being purposeful. We've traded our dreams for security, our passion for predictability. But here's the truth they don't tell you. Safety is an illusion. The only real risk is wasting your life doing work that doesn't matter to you, living for weekends and vacations while the years slip. Your pain has purpose. Those struggles you've been through, they weren't random, they were preparing you. Every setback, every disappointment, every moment you felt lost, they were shaping you into the person capable of handling the destiny that's calling you. The most powerful stories aren't about people who had it easy. They're about people who used their challenges as fuel. Think about it, diamonds are formed under pressure. Gold is purified by fire. And you're being refined for something greater than you can imagine right now. But potential means nothing without action. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't use it, it might as well not exist. The world is full of could-have-beens, people who had ideas but never acted, who had dreams but never pursued them. Don't let that be you. Not when you have gifts the world needs. Not when there are people waiting for exactly what only you can offer. This isn't about becoming someone else, it's about becoming who you already are at your core. That version of you that whispers to you in quiet moments, the one that knows you're capable of extraordinary things. The time for waiting is over. The world doesn't need more spectators, it needs players. People willing to step into the arena, to try, to fail, to get back up, and to keep going. People like you. So what's holding you back? Fear? Doubt? Uncertainty? Welcome to being human. Every great creator, every world changer has felt those same things. The difference is they didn't let those feelings stop them. They felt the fear and did it anyway. They acknowledged the doubt but took the next step regardless. That's all that's being asked of you today, just the next step. Not the whole journey. Not having it all figured out. Just one brave action. Then another. Then another. The clock is ticking, but it's not too late. In fact, it's exactly the right time. This moment right now is your invitation to begin again. To reconnect with that part of you that knows you were made for more. To stop waiting for permission or perfect conditions that will never come. The only permission you need is your own. The only time you're guaranteed is this moment. What will you do with it? You know that restless feeling you can't quite shake. That subtle tension between where you are and where you know you could be. That's not anxiety, that's your soul whispering. It's the part of you that remembers who you were before the world told you to be smaller, quieter, more realistic. But here's what they don't tell you. The most unrealistic thing you can do is spend your one precious life pretending to be someone you're not. Look around at the people who truly move the needle in this world. They're not the ones who played it safe. They're the ones who heard that same whisper and against all logic decided to trust it. The crazy ones. The misfits. The ones who saw what everyone else saw but dared to imagine something different. That could be you. Not someday. The only time you're guaranteed is this moment. What will you do with it? Now, because the truth is the perfect moment doesn't exist. There will always be reasons to wait, more money to save, more skills to learn, more stay to achieve. But life happens in the doing, not the waiting. Your greatest work won't come from your comfort zone. It's waiting for you just beyond that edge of fear you've been avoiding. That project you've been putting off. That conversation you've been dodging. That leap you've been talking yourself out of for years. That's where your magic lies. In the messy, uncertain, terrifying space between what is and what could be. And yes, it will feel uncomfortable. Growth always does. But discomfort is the price of admission to a life that actually excites you when you wake up in the morning. Remember this, every single person you admire was once exactly where you are right now, filled with doubt, questioning whether they had what it takes. The difference wasn't some special talent or advantage. It was their willingness to begin before they felt ready. To show up imperfectly. To keep going when no one was cheering them on. That's the secret. No one tells you. The work comes first, then the confidence. Not the other way around. Oh, here's your invitation. Stop waiting for a sign. This is it. That flutter in your chest when you imagine what's possible. That's your sign. That quiet knowing that there's more for you. That's your permission slip. The world needs what only you can bring, not a polished, perfect version, but the real, raw, unfinished masterpiece that is you right now. Not later. Not when you're ready. Today. Because ready is a myth, and the only time that's ever truly yours is this moment. What happens next is up to you. You can close this video and go back to what was comfortable. Or you can take one small, brave step toward what calls to you. Just one. Then another. That's how every great story begins. The question is, what will your story be? The most dangerous lie we tell ourselves is, I'll start tomorrow. Because tomorrow becomes next week, becomes next year, becomes a lifetime of what if. That dream you keep putting off, it's not going anywhere, but your time is. Every day you wait is a day you'll never get back. The world is full of people who settled, who convinced themselves good enough was enough. Don't let that be you. You weren't put on this earth to pay bills and die. Those butterflies in your stomach when you imagine something bigger. That's not fear, it's your soul recognizing its purpose. The reason it feels scary isn't because you're not ready, it's because it matters. The things worth doing always feel impossible until they're done. Look back at your life, every meaningful thing you've ever accomplished felt overwhelming at first. But you did it anyway. And you grew. And here you are stronger than you knew. This is your wake-up call. Not from me, from that part of you that still remembers how to hope. The part that hasn't been worn down by disappointments and realistic expectations. That part is still there, waiting for you to listen. Waiting for you to take the first step. Because here's the secret no one tells you: motivation doesn't come first. Action does. You don't wait until you feel ready, you act. And then the confidence follows. The world needs what only you can bring. Not a perfect version, not some future ideal, you exactly as you are right now, with all your messy imperfections and untapped potential. There are people only you can reach, problems only you can solve, art only you can create. But none of that happens in your comfort zone. It happens when you dare to begin before you're ready, to fail publicly, to try again when everyone else would quit. So here's the question that matters. What's that one thing you've been putting off because you're waiting for the right time? I'm telling you, the right time is now. Not when things calm down, they won't. Not when you feel confident, you won't. Now, today, this moment, take one small step, then another. That's how revolutions begin. That's how lives change. That's how you look back a year from now and realize this was the moment everything shifted. The choice is yours. Stay comfortable and wonder what if, or dare greatly and find out. Either way, time will pass. The only question is, how do you want to spend it? You feel that restlessness in your bones, that quiet ache for something more. That's not random, it's your destiny knocking. Every great life began with someone refusing to settle, someone who looked at how things are and said, not for me. You're standing at that crossroads right now, whether you realize it or not. The safe path is seductive, it promises comfort, predictability, the absence of failure. But it exacts a terrible price, the slow death of your potential. Here's what they don't teach you. Your doubts aren't signs you're not ready, they're proof you're growing. That voice saying, who do you think you are, is the same voice that will someday say, I can't believe you did it. The fear never goes away. The successful just learn to dance with it. They understand that courage isn't the absence of fear, it's moving forward despite it. Your future self is watching you right now through the rearview mirror of time. What will they see? Someone who played small to avoid judgment? Or someone who bet on themselves despite the odds? The tragedy isn't failing, it's never trying. Regret is the only pain that never fades, because it's not about what happened, it's about what never got the chance to happen. The clock is ticking, but here's the good news, you don't need more time. You need more nerve. That project gathering dust started today badly. That skill you've been meaning to learn, begin now awkwardly. The world rewards doers, not dreamers. Perfection is procrastination in disguise. Your first attempts will embarrass you. Good. That means you're growing. This is your sign, the one you've been waiting for. That flutter in your chest when you imagine something better. That's not anxiety, it's anticipation. Your intuition whispering, go. The universe doesn't send certified letters, it sends goosebumps, synchronicities, and restless nights. The question is, will you listen? The door is open. The path is unclear. That's how it's supposed to be. You don't need to see the whole staircase, just take the first step, not tomorrow. Today. Right now. Your future self will thank you. And if no one's told you today, you're capable of far more than you think. The evidence. That nagging feeling you can't shake, the one saying there's more. It's been right all along. What happens next is entirely up to you. Time will pass regardless. A year from now, you'll either be celebrating your courage or rationalizing your hesitation. Choose wisely. The world needs what only you can bring. Don't keep it waiting. You know that quiet voice inside that whispers, this isn't all there is. The one that surfaces in shower thoughts and 3 a.m. wake-ups. That's not restlessness, that's your soul's GPS trying to reroute you. Most people spend their entire lives hitting snooze on that alarm, but you're different. You're still listening. That's why you're here right now. The most dangerous addiction isn't drugs or alcohol, it's comfort. We get hooked on predictability like it's oxygen. But here's the brutal truth, comfort is where dreams were to turn to dough. Look around at anyone who's ever changed the game. They weren't comfortable. They were hungry. That gnawing feeling you can't satisfy? That's not something to medicate away, it's fuel. Your discontent is the starting point of every great transformation. We've been sold a lie that clarity comes first. That one day the clouds will part and we'll suddenly know. But revelation doesn't work like that. Purpose isn't found, it's forged. Through action. Through missteps. Through showing up when you have no idea what you're doing. The map gets drawn as you walk the path, not before. Those failed attempts, they're not failures, they're data points. Each one bringing you closer. Right now you're standing at the edge of your own potential. Not someday. Not when conditions are perfect. Now, with all your flaws and fears and glorious imperfections, that idea that won't leave you alone, that's not coincidence, it's assignment. The world is quite literally waiting for you to say yes. Not to perfection, not to certainty. Just a beginning. History isn't made Gasta. Qualified, it's made by the willing. The ones crazy enough to think they can change things. Your credentials don't determine your impact, your courage does. That project you've been sitting on, that business idea, that art you're afraid to share, the world needs it. Not a polished version. Not someday. In its messy, imperfect, raw form. Now. So here's your moment of truth. You can bookmark this and return to your regularly scheduled programming. Or you can do one brave thing today that terrifies and excites you in equal measure. Just one. No grand plan needed. The magic isn't in having all the answers, it's in being brave enough to live the questions. Tick-tock. That's the sound of your life happening right now, not later. What will you do with this moment? The choice, as it always has been, is yours alone. But remember, ships weren't built to stay in harbor. And you were built for waters too wild to ignore. Time's up. What's it gonna be? That fire in your belly. That's not indigestion, that's your destiny trying to get your attention. The universe doesn't send skywriting or burning bushes anymore. It sends that persistent nudge you've been trying to ignore. The one that says this isn't all there is. The one that keeps you up at night scrolling through other people's highlight reels while yours collects dust in draft mode. Here's the cold hard truth. Your potential is rotting on the vine while you wait for permission that's never coming. No one is going to tap you on the shoulder and say, now's your time. That moment you're waiting for. It's already here, disguised as an ordinary Tuesday. The great tragedy isn't that we aim too high and fail, it's that we aim too low and succeed at a life that feels like someone else's. Yours is your. They've been on faculty so long you mistake their lectures for truth. Who do you think you are? They sneer. The real question is, who do you think you're not? That gap between where you are and where you want to be. That's not a canyon, it's a runway. Your doubts aren't stop signs, they're mileage markers. We've been brainwashed to believe readiness precedes action. The opposite is true. Readiness follows action like a shadow. You don't think your way into courage, you act your way into it. Every great story begins with someone deciding their fear of regret outweighed their fear of failure. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek, but here's the kicker, there is no treasure until you enter as your intervention. That life you keep daydreaming about, it's available right now, not in some distant when. The cost. Trading your excuses for action, your somedays for todays. Your comfort for growth. The payment plan is brutal, you pay up front with fear and uncertainty. But the ROI? Becoming someone you actually respect when you look in the mirror. The clock isn't just ticking, it's laughing. Laughing at your plans to start tomorrow. At your conditions for happiness. At your insistence on waiting until you feel ready. Meanwhile, opportunities are going to people with half your talent but twice your audacity. The playing field isn't level, it's tilted toward the bold. So here's your ultimatum. Continue watching life from the bleachers or get in the damn game. Not next season, now today. This very moment. The world doesn't need another spectator. It needs you fully awake, marginally terrified, and spectacularly alive. What's it gonna be? That restless ache in your chest when you see others living boldly? That's not envy, it's your soul recognizing its own reflection in their courage. The reason their journey stirs something in you isn't coincidence, it's confirmation. What you admire in others already exists within you, waiting for permission to breathe. We've been conditioned to treat our dreams like fine china, something to bring out on special occasions when all the conditions are perfect. But life isn't a formal dinner party, it's a potluck where the boldest flavors get remembered. Your playing small doesn't serve the world. That idea you've been sitting on, that project collecting digital dust. The world needs it in its raw, unpolished truth, not some perfected version that never sees daylight. Your fears have been gaslighting you. That voice whispering you're not ready yet. It's the same voice that will say you missed your chance 5 years from now if you listen. Here's the secret no one tells you, readiness is a myth invented by people who regret playing it safe. The great creators, innovators, and change makers throughout history didn't wait for permission, they gave it to themselves. The most dangerous prison isn't made of steel bars, it's constructed from the somedays and what ifs we tell ourselves. Meanwhile, time keeps cashing checks against your account of possibilities, that passion project you keep postponing. It's not going anywhere, but you are. Every sunrise steals another 24 hours from your eventually. Right now, yes, right this second you're standing at a crossroads disguised as an ordinary moment. One path leads to the comfort of familiar disappointments. The other, to the terrifying thrill of becoming who you were meant to be. The bridge between them isn't knowledge or resources or connections, it's sheer audacity. The kind that says, I'll figure it out instead of I'm not ready. Your future self is watching this moment through the rearview mirror of time. Will they see hesitation or action? Excuses or effort? The tragedy won't be failing, it will be never discovering what could have been because you were too busy preparing to live instead of actually living. This isn't motivation, it's mathematics. Every day you delay compounds the interest on your regret. But here's the beautiful part. It's never too late to become who you might have been. The first step isn't preparation, it's decision. Not tomorrow. Today. Now. The world needs your voice, your vision, your imperfect offering. Not because it's flawless, but because it's authentically, unmistakably yours. What happens next isn't up to fate or luck or circumstance. It's up to you. The question is, what will you choose to do with this moment that will never come again? That tightness in your throat when you imagine stepping into your truth. That's not anxiety, it's the birth pangs of your unlived potential. The dreams you keep locked away in the basement of your mind aren't fantasies, they're unopened invitations from the universe. Every time you dismiss that quiet knowing that says there's more for you, you're not being realistic, you're committing slow suicide by comfort. The most dangerous addiction isn't to substances, it's to the lie that you have more time. That tomorrow you'll finally start. That next month will be different. That next year will be your year. But here's the brutal truth they don't tell you. The magic doesn't happen in the someday, it happens in the now. In the messy, imperfect, terrifying now where real growth occurs. Not when you're ready, because you'll never be ready. But when you decide that playing small is no longer an option. Your future self isn't some distant stranger. They're being shaped by the decisions you make today. Every time you choose fear over faith, procrastination over action, comfort over courage, you're not just passing time. You're actively constructing a future self who will look back with either gratitude or grief. The bridge between who you are and who you're meant to become isn't made of perfect conditions. It's built with daily acts of bravery so small no one else may even notice, but you'll know. And that's what matters. The world is starving for what only you can bring, not some polished, perfected version, but the raw, real, unfinished masterpiece that is you in this moment. Your struggles aren't obstacles, they're the curriculum. Your doubts aren't roadblocks, they're the training ground. That thing you think disqualifies you, it's actually your secret weapon. Because authenticity can't be faked or manufactured. It can only be lived. So here's your moment of truth. You can minimize this as just another motivational speech and return to business as usual. Or you can recognize it for what it is, a divine intervention disguised as words on a screen. The door is open. The path is uncertain. The time is now. Not because the conditions are perfect, but because you are. Exactly as you are. Flaws and all. What happens next isn't up to chance, it's your choice. Your choice. And remember, ships weren't built to stay docked in harbor. They were made for open waters, just like you. The question is, will you set sail or keep waiting for perfect weather that never comes? The tide is ready when you are.